So the day has arrived. We're actually going to work on the bike instead of just talking. We're going to take the fork off. We're going to look at some features of this fork. We're going to compare them to some features of the Bucklos fork. We're going to weigh it. And then we're going to put the new Bucklos air fork on here. And then we're going to do some footage so that you'll get to see how it performed compared to the Suntour fork. So let's get started. Let's get this part. .11, so 6.11 pounds. Okay. So, at the risk of being wrong, I'm going to do some math. I haven't been doing good lately. Let's see. That should be 10, that would be 11, that's 9, 2.29 pound difference. That's pretty crazy, right? But see, that's not the whole story, right? There's other things going on. I made this little chart here. So the Suntour is 100mm travel, whereas the Bucklos is 120. The diameter of the tubes is 28mm on the Suntour and 32 on the Bucklos. And it's really kind of a big deal because with the bigger diameter tube, it's a lot stiffer fork. You're not going to get so much flex. The only adjustment on the Suntour was the spring preload. But I'm not going to discount that because I really like being out on the trail and being able to crank up a little more preload. That's the one thing I'm going to miss. So with the air fork, unless I'm carrying a pump with me, I really can't adjust the pressure. But what I can do is now I have rebound adjustment, I have compression adjustment, air spring pressure, and a lockout. So after a couple times, I'll know where the air needs to be, and then I should be able to deal with the dampening to get it where I want the fork to be. No weight on it. The length 19 3/4. The new one's 20 1/4. That ½ inch difference is mostly the extra 20mm travel. So we're going to see, but you probably saw a little bit of introduction video before this started. But we're going to show a video that shows this fork over some rough root area that I ride in, and then a little bit on a trail. So we're going to show that video, and then after this fork's all together, we're going to show the video with the new fork and see what the difference is. But for now, let's get back to working on the bike. I'm going to knock these bearings out, and then we're going to look at the new bearing that's going to make it possible to put this tapered fork on here. So one thing I did want to check on this that I hadn't even thought of before, but I actually saw it on Chicken Sendi's. He did a bearing setup like this, and he brought out the point of measuring the depth of this, make sure you have enough machined in your head tube. So that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. So we have about, I'm going to say it's about 7mm before the little chamfer. There's a little chamfer on the end. It's about 7mm. And if I go down in here, I'm reading about 8mm. So we should be good. That should all fit in there without no interference. But it's a good thing to check. You know, it never even occurred to me before. So I'm going to get these bearing races pressed in. So if you look at this bearing now, it's actually below the head tube where before it was in the head tube. So we probably raised the bottom of the fork, I don't know, 12mm, 14mm, something like that. So it changes the relationships between parts. What exactly it affects and all, I don't 100% know, but it does change things somewhat. So how that's going to affect it, I really don't know, but we'll just have to see. I'm going to put a few more pieces together, put the wheel on, put the brake on, and then we'll have it on the ground. All right, so I just wanted to mention one thing before I put it on the ground, to give you this nice little pressure chart on the lower fork leg. And I should be about the 75 to 95 pound range. So we're going to put the gauge up here. Let's see, I don't know how much, we're going to see how much is in the fork now, right from the, I haven't put nothing in it yet. And we have, wow, we're up around 90 already. About 95, right? We're going to call that 95. We're going to start right there. So we're back on the ground, got everything back together. I'm going to set the compression right in the middle. I'm going to set the rebound right in the middle, just to give myself a start. And then we're going to ride it, and I'm going to record some more. But next we're going to watch some video that I recorded last week of the original Suntour fork. And I'm going to discuss that a little bit. And then we're going to show the video with the new fork. And we'll be able to see a comparison. You probably saw in the videos that the new fork is quite a bit better. And I think really the biggest thing is the light weight. Like when I would try to get the front end over roots and stuff, it would just lift so easy. And you could tell the dampening, the way it reacted, it didn't just bang all the way down or bang all the way up. It was, you could feel the dampening. It made a big difference. Big difference in control, big difference in handling. Going over things, it was way easier to get over roots. We're gonna end this video here.